Family, on a good evening or on a good day, depending on what's on in the world. We're glad for there today again as part of the commitments we'll be now make to una say every Thursday we will bring this program, Lord Talk to the Minister. So we're here today, a very special and distinguished guest, now Dr. Turad Sensie, the Minister of Lands and Country Planning. Dr. Sensie is out with me today for discuss in tenure as Minister of Lands, the thing that we achieve, the challenges there, and when I say go get an opportunity for ask questions there, so you go clarify them, you know. So I want for tell you all thank you. We don't make time for can join with today, because I know say all man so busy. For on left on a busy schedule then for can join with. I mean, quite something we will not take for granted. So that we make sure say this time will not break at all. So Fambulen, I know say last week when they talk about the proportional representation, district block system. But questions them in can. But we'll find time before the end of this program for recapping questions and address some of them. But today I want to start with my colleague and brother Naya, Dr. Turad Sensie. Let's talk to Fambulen. But in tenure, it don't be minister for over 2 years now, if I don't forget. Not so, sir. Yeah, now the Ministry of Lands and Country Planning. Yeah. It can meet a land administration system. We've been get a lot of challenges with they sell one plot to land, give several. Last year, my own personal experience. Okay, so the ministry allocate land to me. I don't get all the people there. Before I go there, I meet somebody don't fence the land. Yes, that also happened to me. So if it happened to me, and they understand how many other citizens they were not in position of influence and power, what they're going to do that too. So that's one of the challenges within that sector they will take over. I want to let you talk to Fambule. What has it been like 2 years, 2.5 years on? What do you meet, what you don't do? That will ask you the specific question and just do a broad overview.
Yeah, thank you very much, Minister. I take over a ministry where everybody in Leone knows say it might be a chaotic one, very chaotic. You can get a ministry where you get staff there, will be there at the ministry. They're not been on payroll, that's number one. They've been there, and then at the ministry there and call them auxiliary. The own number says be past the one they were on payroll. So it was a difficult one. They were there, they're not accountable to anybody, they do anything wrong, it's difficult for them to ask or bring them to book. So that kind of situation, it was like they were working for themselves.
Operation Pay Yourself?
Well, that's something like that of that nature. So it was difficult for them to really lay a kind of hand on any of them kind of stuff they did. Besides that one also, most of them also were not trained. They don't get the relevant skills for them able to administer the daily routine in terms of land administration and management and the ministry. So that one was a difficult one. Secondly, also, or thirdly, also, the staff them back within the ministry, it was difficult for most of them for let them really know what's not their own duties, what's not their responsibilities. Because you can see somebody that be employed, say, for the country planning directorate, you will see and say, it kind of surveys and lands. When a day, then they go survey their land, then distribute them or sell. So it was difficult. So taking over a ministry, we've been in that kind of situation, was something where you get for put your head down at the table, sit down first, you map out a strategy, identify some of the few ones that will also get capacity and see what you go do. So when I take over the ministry, that was the first step. One, for make sure say you identify the one that will get capacity, the few will get capacity. That is one. Two, for make sure say that the individuals that we don't identify, let them understand exactly what's not the political agenda. Because if you don't understand what's not the agenda, it's difficult for let the person go execute or go perform the duties the way they expect them to perform. So what I'm going to do was to take the few of them first, where assist them where they get capacity, make sure say they understand exactly what's not the political agenda and how we go about in terms of delivering that political agenda. So those were the first things that was the first thing we had to get for.
Okay, why they talk about political agenda? What's that mean for family that will not listen? Because I know say people that don't use this habit say sometimes they pull land na person hand we not perceive for belong to the same political party like you or something like that. What's in political agenda mean?
No, well, the political agenda now waiting will be put inside a manifesto.
Okay.
Where the people of Sierra Leone vote for. That one day it in a public document.
Yes, sir.
So that's the political agenda where if the staff within the ministry not understand waiting, now they focus and how we for go about to achieve that goal, then it will be difficult because it is possible that the man may get something where we don't do in the past, where it don't so used to run, and don't know what exactly the new government will don't come, how they want waiting if we don't find out when I mean the problems, where and how they for able for bring solutions to their problems. So for let you get the staff for deliver, we will be effective and efficient. It was a bit difficult. So you may therefore get that responsibility as a minister, providing that leadership, you have to take them first through that. Let them understand that. And I think say now that's first I do, and most of them may therefore understand that. So that's the it's not anything for say they can't take land a person.
Dr. Sensie, I understand. I've been one like Rob Mudpalm.
Right,
You
right.
sabi say now all been part of the manifesto development committee
Sure.
who consult people there across this country.
Right.
Waiting now on a vision, which kind of land administration, land and country planning administration, when I go let foresee under a president bureau administration.
Right.
So we've been talking to everybody across focus group discussions across this country. What we been get from the and the deck study we will do now inform the new direction manifesto on many issues there. So Dr. Sensie, Lance B say, okay, is so proud of this program. I go quick for admit say the Honorable Minister of Lands and Country Planning, they are among the best ministers in the new direction. So to your credit, that's what Lance B says. Moses Tommy say, so okay. Moses Tommy say, and they bring Kalo business now. Moses Tommy, you don't belong here. I think so. You got to look for other side where you go talk that nonsense stuff. They are a serious policy engagement with the do now. Moses Tommy, the other Moses Tommy, say good job. Our two great ministers. Didn't that, okay? I see. So sorry, Moses. That was not meant for you. Yeah, that was not meant for you, Moses. I apologize. Yeah. So, Dr. Sensie, you don't lay plenty issues out. The state of the ministry, the way you meet and they. Yeah. That one they not to be anything for way but people them getting doubts. You know, people them in the wonder and the new direction, this what them promise we. You know, a lot of challenges been there. Even though the other person will be there before you, instead of been getting great strengths there. But we still had a lot of bridges to cross. We had a lot of things that we need for achieve. So 2.5 years on at the ministry, waiting at some events in there, how you go put your hand on. Say, look, you don't make a difference, you don't achieve.
Well, one of the things that we don't do is that we don't do a lot of capacity building programs at the ministry. Which I try for doing and for get consultants for can join me at the ministry for do a lot of capacity training in terms of GIS and so many other relevant things. Before now, you see say the ministry whatever they do. When they go for go survey, you see the whole tape longer one and they run inside bush here and there. Now then they use now GPS. You know, that is not the case anymore. Most of the staff they use GPS and they use drone, you know that thing and they not stop there. You see say today that the whole pen, pencil, then they get ruler for drawing, then survey plans. Now they produce now digital survey plans at the ministry. We don't do a lot of training in that area today. So you see say the capacity of the ministry, it don't come up. You see now say less error in terms of documents how they produce. Today you see that they use TPEX, you know, for the do that. I mean, well, I be the finance so deep. I say, what is happening? TPEX for do waiting. Plan? I say no. So we don't do a lot of training. The staff capacity don't come up a bit, though there is, room for do more. And the good thing also is where maybe we can't touch them. We don't get enough money. Well, not enough, but we don't get substantial money for do a lot of training from the World Bank Fund. We don't come in for the staff right across board all over the country. The staff will get.
Yeah.
So we don't do a lot of work in that area, and I think say that's don't they make the staff they don't know now say there is value. They have value in themselves, and therefore they don't know now say the public and the clients, you know, and then they are there for serve the public. So that kind of orientation and they don't go right around and they don't really understand that. Now you see say it's difficult now for let's see the Ministry of Land staff. That kind of way they make where some man they don't create a kind of empire. They make us say he's the beginning, he's the end. The possible they come from the public, now a kind of possible they down. Now they don't understand. Say no, they are only there because the people that way they out there, now the money that they take for pay. So we don't do a lot of then orientations and I think say that they now accord the public a lot of respect and then they do their work now with some efficiency and effectiveness. So I think say that's the way to go for say.
Okay, so thank you very much. I mean, this is really progressive. This now they call per change management frame breaking change, you know. So I wonder how what's been the resistance, how you manage it, because people they know you can challenge them existing because then so they can do waiting and then they send which gun this that and then place them make him afraid for go to yourself.
No.
So how did you manage that?
The whole thing
they're not
is
resistant.
a lot of resistance here. Up to this moment, we get to resistance. But as I say, one of the things, which go here and no. Look, do the right thing. As long as you do the right thing, with time, people are going to say they don't need for go take fange or whatever they call. And besides, this God here will make we all man get your own side, you don't tell we get for it. So a lot of forget about that entirely. I need to free that one. But there is one thing where, in terms of leadership, we always get for be part of you. That is discipline. If discipline lacking, there is no way your followers or those that are working directly with you, under you, they will also be disciplined. So one of the things I want to for instill in the staff of the ministry, and for make sure, there is discipline. When we say that this way would they go, I will discuss them with you. I will call a meeting and make sure, the decision, before we take a decision for saying that this will they go do. All of them, I make sure, that they call them to a meeting, we sit down as a kind of family. We look at the issues, make your small idea I get, I put them forward to them. Then your small way then get, then say put them forward. We'll put all together, we'll blend them. That kind of participatory.
Okay, so Dr. Sensie, thank you very much. Okay, Hudan Sumana, so somebody Hudan Sumana, Dr. Sensie say, you know one of the best ministers in the present administration, and let God make you live long. Abulai, then the wise soiree say, is there any complaints department in the lands ministry? If so, are they effective? Sandy Ganga. Sandy Ganga, go. Sandy Ganga said, thank you, Honorable Mohamed Rahman, for this laudable initiative to bring the government closer to the people. Thanks, Dr. Turad Sensie, for the competence. So people then they follow we. When you come at the ministry, I remember there was a lot of hype. You set up a public complaint, some inquiry kind of administrative or something it was.
Right.
You bring people there. Family then go on for know how they want to be earned. And what are the benefits then we will get as a country, if not a waste of resources.
No.
And what are the benefits and just talk to
Yeah, the good thing will happen is that because they were, you be getting too much fighting here and there, inside the ministry, outside the ministry with respect to land administration and management. So taking over, then kind of thing they've been there. Of course, government decides, okay, look, let's not just abandon them complaints there. So let us look at, into them complaints there. So government may therefore set up the complaints committee. They all go, that they go, and complain and listen now. Thereafter, they do a report and present them to government. Government will not approve and report in this. So now we are now implementing. In fact, my deputy minister and in charge of the implementation. So who side them and get with 2 people and they don't give them 1 parcel of land, 2, 3, 4 people and they don't give them 1 parcel of land for some reason, and that can be one of the challenges that are the way the land administration project they can address. Record system. Because we get no proper record system. This 1 parcel of land, they go take and give this person, they take the same parcel of land and give this other one, they take the same parcel of land. So that kind of crisis now in the ministry. So with the recommendations, most of them people and they sometimes the one where they don't give first, we don't begin to development, with the left hand of that land there. The other one will not begin development here, but the fact that our government we don't get will take you, will relocate you. So that kind of implementation we are now doing. Some other one and they will have been land grabbers then go grip people land and go and sell. And so what we are doing is that we are taking those lands again, we give them to the rightful owners then. You will don't go grab them, we will not get legitimacy to that. You go find land now, you give to the other person them, or when I go settle on yourself outside, the ministry in waiting there. So those sort of things are now ongoing. But the bottom line is that will not be waste money. The report is there, and we are now implementing the recommendations of the report.
Also, congratulations for this. The president in the New Direction Manifesto being promised say they run a transparent and accountable people-centered administration. So this kind of thing, so for like you can listen to people there, then complaints there, and you actually give feedback, you act on them. It's very progressive. Governments are about that.
Yeah.
But some time ago, people they see a lot of militarization in that ministry.
Well, that is another thing. You see, you're not going to make the institution way for serve the public in a way where they go get satisfaction. You make kind of say, that institution they get for go hunt people then. So one of the things that we are doing in the first place, I'll tell you this thing will happen. The first day we are going to the ministry, I just see some guys then, I think they can call them vigilantes then.
Who's that in Now the ministry?
Now the ministry, I say I reach in and I talk, say, this now who they protect and who they guide and I turn around. I said, no, a state official. The state law already provide security for me. So the other person of can protect me. So una left me no more. Una left me go find a way where I go able for make sure say I go on with the activities of this particular ministry. So those ones will be there and will be they do that kind sort of thing. What I do was to ask them all out of the ministry first. I said no, una go first. If we need una, we'll call una. Likewise, also those that were also auxiliaries, they call themselves auxiliaries when are volunteers. I said no, the one the first way government don't take, the one the way government don't put them on payroll, the one that will get the pin codes there. Well, let me also try first for know what are their responsibilities. Thereafter, we will call other people now if we need help. So now, so I began for take them, make sure say I take them quietly with respect, say let them go wait for us out of the ministry. And today there is decorum in the ministry.
So you
quietly ask them, I mean with respect, say no, look, they want the way they pay them every month, we government they pay them, let them do their work. We are not help them. We they don't do one, we're not sure if say I mean what they do not the right thing. We can ask them out there we'll bring when I come in.
okay, so family, as the show they hit up, I want for ask una for continue for share the link to family, to friends, to loved one now share and on our groups there, let more people that engage. Because you know the land situation now Freetown, now the country, now major land issues and emotive issues there.
Sure.
You know, you go na court, majority of the cases there were in land issues.
Sure.
You know, so we'll get the minister now today for answer on our questions there, for giving us account of his stewardship. I think it's very important. So Dr. Sensie, Abraham Jakema say, your diplomatic approach help for quell a lot of tension na the ministry. And they tell you plenty thank you. Mohamed Kalon say, this program very educative. So when would they bring the Minister of Agriculture? Interestingly enough, Mohammed, yesterday me and the Minister of Agriculture talk in a cabinet. They don't consent for car next week. All other things being equal. So, you know, you might have your minister tomorrow. Albert Fuji say, good evening, Minister. Oh. Okay. So now we'll continue for the share. I want for talk to Dr. Turad Sensie. Dr. Sensie, this year, we don't see say, for the very first time since we start the MCC, the compact business, that's along the Millennium Challenge Corporation, you know, participation. Now, the first time this was alone government, they passed the lands provision. You know,
Yes.
How it happen? What will happen?
You know, as I say, if you look at what they happen
Land rights.
around the globe, I can always make reference to this. Israel very powerful, not because they get a population, but what they do now for make sure say they get a population with enlightened. So what I don't do in the ministry, that for the few the way I don't see say they get capacity, identify them, build on that small capacity what they may get. Now they use now for make sure say we move the land administration business go before, and I think so don't do. The time I just take over will be just slightly above 20%.
Wow.
Yes, that was our grade. What's not come out today, we don't do 60%. Now we don't score in terms of the MCC. Just like, I mean, what's we don't do in our education. 100%. The other areas all will be getting red, all go green. So, how are able to do them? I identify some of the actions we're supposed to take for support or manifesto programs. Where I identify then issues that we don't put inside manifesto commitment, the next thing I do now for design a kind of methodology, they identify also the actors that way for deliver their methods and in terms of achieving that. One of the things that we inside we manifesto now access to land. So this year I look up and down. How we go make people and get access to land? We're not going to be based on political party. We're not going to be based on religion, region. We're not going to be based on tribe. Now I just sit down and I say, no, look, let us get the land and then we'll put it into a raffle. They have put a team together. I said, let us try this. We'll discuss on a meeting together with me and then we agree on that. Now begin pilot. Now today everybody is, even if I announce today, tomorrow you will see how application will come in for the next raffle draw. So this is how we've been able to make sure say people have.
So then they don't broaden access to land.
Broaden access
in
to
a very
land,
democratic way.
Very democratic, in a very transparent manner.
Yeah.
Now we don't need for ask what I need. You get land. So that is what we are doing. We don't do another Western area. The next phase we'll go for begin to consider Nana for Canada provinces.
Okay, so Dr. Sensie, I want on behalf of Mr. Friends on over 10, 15 years, the Ministry of Information before I come in, they don't do every trick in the book for Gala and they're not ever able to get her. I say I get a couple of the low paying civil servants for the first time in their life. They don't become landlords in the Western area. I want on behalf of all them voiceless people there, who are not able to get access to you for telling plenty thank you. I think that was a gem of an idea that made your game changer. Because people that they work the public service throughout their life, they never get 1 ounce of land, 1 kilometer of 1 meter of land. So this is really
not to the normal. Let's just add to this. Take the magistrates, take the judges, and they preside over land business, over land cases. I don't talk to many of them, they not even get 1 town lot. But then you go get one person, they go come up Pompujong. It is a Western area, I go tell you say you get 100 acres. You go get somebody, you come up Krubola, they can tell you say you get 250 acres. Well, I just but these are people that have contributed to nation building. The judges, the magistrates, the civil servants, the teachers, the nurses. For God's sake, then people they deserve recognition. They deserve for living comfort. Take the journalists. Always tell what to do something they do. Take the civil society. Then people will not get right for land. Now one great man they go take 100 acres, they begin to cut and panalize, they sell and give it, they extort money from them. They put it at a disadvantaged position. Most of them when they know they do so, what have they done in terms of contributing to nation building? So most of them they now we don't make sure say they are now we don't put them at the corner. Because in the first place, if you don't go forge documents, you don't go claim their land and they get you, they send you go to the police. The police they investigate you for forgery. You not stop it. If you don't go make sure you don't go sit down on government land. Now trespass on the state land. Okay. So they make sure they charge you go court. If you don't go take money na people in hand for land, not to you get her. Now obtaining money by fraud. And they call the police, then charge you go court. So we don't do series of that one. So you don't see inside the Western area, this thing about land grabbing, you see, they die. They don't die because the offenses are there. If you don't go take government land, you go take cutlass, you begin cut stick, you begin now destroying grain plants. Now an offense. Then they cite the books there, but they know they enforce them before now. So all of them things and then now they make sure so they charge the people and they go court and we don't reduce it. If you look again what's in the apple, you will see say land cases there, even waiting now at the court, they don't reduce drastically.
Congratulations.
They don't reduce drastically. Conflict over land don't reduce drastically because that's the focus. That was the instruction given to me by His Excellency the President. Say I want decorum in the land sector. He told me that he repeated that one over and again where they give me orientation with respect to how I want to see the land sector. So we don't achieve that to a greater extent, and we think we'll go for continue along that path.
Yeah. So Dr. Sensie, Theophilus John Jose, it suggests the following. They say let's streamline the work processes for ensure the turnaround time for is shortened. Continuous communication between the ministry and surveyors that submit documents for approval processing at every stage. That the ministry levy processing fees for every document submitted to them to ensure that the process is conducted expeditiously and prevent unsolicited demands. By body high the left now. So if there's a legitimate way for levy through a process way we're accountable, people then say that they go better than they're unsolicited, they're unnecessary,
There is already a process we clearly defined. It is only that as you mentioned, you get this resistance many times to change. But there is a clearly defined pathway in terms of where do you start. In fact, if you go down to the ministry, you go agree with me, say you get the front desk.
Yeah.
So all survey plans, I need the submitter.
Yeah.
From there, they go to the state lands clearance office. The state land clearance office now for show say this one are private property or this one are state property. Okay. When once they don't clear them, the next phase is they go to the country planning. The country planning office not be functional at all. Now when I take over, now I make sure that directorate they go back to who side for day and make sure so you see the plan will go again to the planning office. The planning office then go pay field visits for go make sure this survey plan now Indian at the ground. Before them bring a can out to the director of surveys and they bring a recommend to me inside we don't cross check inside the system for make sure other person know the way they lay claim to that particular land documents, land deed before it bring the documents come to me for approval and they go sign and will give to people. So the processes are there, the charges are there. It is only that other people in there when they still think say therefore they go take extra thing there.
Yeah.
And then money they say when they come to the ministry, when they handle them. Now direct inside the national coffers they go.
Okay, so thank you very much for all them bold reforms there. It takes a man, with all the trappings, so they go come, then go on for can give these, all kind offers there. But I always know you say, where they appoint you, I tell people they will not be in Sabi, say, I say this is the breath of fresh air. If this man not able the Ministry of Lands, I'll throw up my hands in surrender. And I say this in public because I know you. Somebody, they talk about the freedom of information. So the MCC scorecard, the most recent one, for freedom of information, Sierra Leone government score 98%, second only to expenditure on education and anything. So they say this is not a tick box exercise. The president honestly, genuinely, and sincerely committed for make sure that every Sierra Leonean gets a voice. All those who ask for, Lord, do one within decorum. Lord, do one with constructively. You can criticize us for as much as you want, because criticism now one of the critical hallmarks of a democracy.
Sure.
What will be the opposition? Every Wednesday will be the press conference. But the difference is we'll be the press conference there with the profile alternative policy positions there.
Sure.
So that one they want they make government better and serve the people there more. Yeah. So
it is even possible, maybe the policy focus will get somebody get better ideas. Even, you don't need to be part of the party or a supporter of the party. Mm-hmm. You can do opposition, you get better ideas with respect to, because at the end of the day, the Sierra Leoneans are going to benefit. So give with their policy or alternative and they will go sharpen now, they will make sure we implement in the interest of Sierra Leoneans. I think it's very important.
Okay, so Cosmo Joseph Nylander say, what about lands taken from us by Diana Konomani and given to present serving ministers of the BU government? Well, so Cosmo may not sabi one this kind of thing. Me, I was never given a land by anybody. The land I get to I build my house before I be minister, I've been buying. Some 12, 13 years ago, was that they live now. And the first land I ever get privilege for that government give me, I think so they give several of we. By the time they go there, I made a down fence. I even know I've been get all my documents.
Now they even find a way for see if ministers don't get. But let me also come to that side the way they talk about Diana Konomani take land. What take over me? I don't see that documents though, and they're not doing any handover to me. For say this land was taken by Diana Konomani, they left at the ministry. They give who can't take out ship and give other people. That's not the case. This is the same way they talk just now. Where would they the public domain? No, they talk with facts. They don't lie on the past leaders just because they're not there to do it for defend themselves. I don't think say me see any document. Me not see it. So I not distribute any of them kind of land to anybody.
Okay. So, Dr. Sensie, I don't say, but all that thing anyway you don't do back in that ministry. The country plan inside, na side what they don't forget for the longest time, like we said, mention, they exist. But also the first time this, where we talk to the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, the curriculum unit been done dying at the Ministry of Education. So I wonder how they able to administer education as a ministry, get a curriculum planning unit. The same way, we talk. You did in the Ministry of Housing and Country Planning. Get a country planning unit. So take through this bar. What are some of the implications of that one there and how
if you look at the entire Freetown, many places the way they go now, you will see not plan. Because the country planning directorate not be functional. Now, let's talk about when you take land distribution, for example. If the land is acquired, the next phase of that land before distribution is planning. Who side utilities are for day, for make sure so make provision for all of that. Who side this host for Tima Pie for ton, for don't make sure so don't make that provision, they don't plan them well. But before now, just be the take land and give this person, Mr. A, now you get this, Mr. B, now you get this, Mr. C, now you get this. The country planning unit was supposed for sit down on the desk. They plan that particular layout there. They produce the layout. Then that layout there, the minister able for sit down, look at and make sure say everything way for the day, like then playgrounds, then markets places, then religious places, outside the land, street for pass, they make sure say they get All that thing they now when una sit down, there is a layout. That layout they clearly define that. But you're not gonna go take land, you don't go cut, you begin give people a here and I mean it doesn't make sense. So you see, say Boku, most of those communities they're not planned. Where Wataka they take over. For let take fire force, cry one of them communities and then when there is emergency, now big trouble. For let take water, cry one of them communities and then big trouble. So the reactivator reactivates the country planning unit. You see now say if you take like Bureton, who say we don't care go, then raffle winners them. You go under, you go see you team up one side, you see the road they go straight. You go team on the other side, you go see the road they go straight. Along them roads and they will say water pipe for pass all day. Along them roads and they will say electricity pole for pass all day. Along them roads and they who side the person for building who's a ton, high for day, a day. Then you go see say even at them locations and the type of houses they wait for Timam and then grown and day because we look at the topography of the land. They will able also advise the person we get that land. They say that this kind of house then go to this land. So you know, go see land we get some slope. They go take 5-story, you go put a day all of a sudden with poor quality materials. I mean, it's also bad for not only you where they build the house, but even the people already around you. So now you see, say the country planning unit is functional and I make sure say at the monitor them, my deputy they monitor them, my permanent secretary they monitor them, and the one that they many time and they will get this tussle here and there. Okay, make palava me because when they give instruction, they go do otherwise. Man, they make a lot of palava, but they don't know me now. Oh, make the palava, they know say I want get a goal. Now result I want. And that result they want, I forget them. So the Kisi say, no, wait means I don't talk in this way one time. Pass will get that way. Otherwise, me and then they get that, we go visit, you go wait and call me, say go inside the motor, I say, let us get to the land. Let me go and see what you are doing there. If I'm not satisfied, you go back to your drawing board. And the other thing is, who are also kind of the ministry, and they read a lot. And they read a lot around 19 a day. So and there I can ask some questions and I say, you don't learn quick. I say, yes, I have to read around my environment. If I get a job, an assignment to the president don't give me, and they expect anything less.
No.
I get for deliver, and there has to be efficiency.
Okay,
so
thank you. You know, we believe say this is not a country of over 7 million Sierra Leoneans. A lot more people than they were worthy of appointment. So if the lot fall on you, nothing we go for treat with utmost seriousness.
Sure.
Right. So that is what I'll do. It's a privilege. So Famata Luawa, they say one lawyer sell get a land, he get a fake documents there. Waiting at the records so available to her. I know say there are a lot of Famata Luawas, not necessarily say na lawyers sell there, but I know say there are a lot of them kind of people in this. You probably go look for advice. Champion content, they say they tell you plenty thank you. The fact say would they engage people there, they say that should say would they show respect for the people of Sierra Leone. Sure. Well, I saw the president say we appoint we na person we no want let anybody look let person look down on anybody. They see this as an opportunity for serve. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so somebody, Cosmo Joseph Nyland has said, thank you for clarifying. I can't lie, and definitely there's nobody to run to because all of the officials act alike. We are not in Sierra Leone, and by the time we go there, there's already a building on the land. You wanted us to invest, but you don't protect us. It's very bad to make many abroad. So now that people then they say. So while Dr. Sensie they make up a mind for response to them in there, I want for encourage una for continue for share the link, for share now our groups then, to families, to friends, to loved ones then. Let this conversation let it roll on. Yeah. So there's a lot of tell you plenty. Thank you for injecting sanity and sobriety into the land. Tell your sister. Please, can the minister tell us what plans they have for shops that are taking over all major intersections in the city?
Yeah, last start with the person first we talk about the fake document. I know I for know that give document whether it's fake or not. But when somebody go forge document again, now falsification of document, that's not a crime in this country as well. All what you need for do, go to the police, you make sure say you produce, you make you complain and go investigate, and then charge that person, they go court. All over, you get too many of them documents and the way they come in here and there. So that's now I go advise anybody. Anybody with 4 documents give you, go to the police. In fact, we get the land anti-land grabbing units within a Kiama Road, where they don't give me. The police will not set up that unit there so that you can go there, go make your report. The other issue we got for do with brothers and sisters staying out there, when they buy land now, so by the time they left here, them go, they come back, they don't meet something on bill on the land. Well, I just give this information again. We don't pass them. We now get service plots then. Then service plots and they where you buy them. You left farm, you go come and let them 5-10 years in the meet and they because in the first place, we don't deploy security forces then and they protect the land and they. You build your house, you left and then you go can, you will go inside, then nothing not go happen. Then service plots and then they. It's not time like today when they take land and just give you by the time the Mara way don't go, you can't. No. Now the land itself is secured. And we'll make sure say it is protected until you build your house there. Nobody no go do anything on that land and they. The one they who don't get the owner right now and they can do their conveyance, they will don't give them the survey plans. The land is there protected, and we don't even tell them, see, let them go begin work on that. No sooner we don't give the service plot. You don't need to go through all the other bureaucracies when you go visit the place here and there for ascertain whether now you get the land or not. Now all you need for do now for go to the ministry, you get your building permit. You start for bill and then you go on. Those are the things. So when you buy land now from government, when that service plot they would advertise, the security of that land is assured, and you don't get nothing you go worry about.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And Abubakar Suare say he be minutes in letter to Director of Survey since July this year. He say they not get feedback it. They don't work at shoes one left on the road.
No, well, you don't need for waste your time on anything or you say wakati. I don't set up a system where all documents when they come on at my office, when they go to my secretary, we enter inside a computer. The day where I put my computer on my connecting to the internet, they tell me exactly when I minute that particular document there and who say a move where you go. So if you go to the Director of Surveys, you're able to forget your document for let you take action on the minutes where I don't give you for come back to my secretary. Raise the concern with my secretary. My secretary go alert me. They go look inside my computer there see because I'm always following up also. So you don't need to forget that kind of problem there. So if that don't happen, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry about that, but come to the office, that will be addressed again.
Gionya woman say this is a very good program, informative, lock it up, it's more blessings. Cosmos said we set up a diaspora desk so that it go easy for letting set access. I think it's an interesting idea that one.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, so then we'll get
it's
access.
Very interesting. Even the service plots they will start. Even the service plots they will start. Now the more we bring in the service plots for so that I don't go see me brother and sisters then the kind challenges, the kind pains that we're going to go through for them getting small money. When they send out for buy land, the people they can't take out, they eat all. Then they begin telling stories. I don't see that kind of thing in there. So now that's make we don't introduce the service plots so that government will take responsibility for protecting land and until you make use of them. So when I continue for buy the service plot, the other one they don't buy and they don't secure now. So when I say continue for buy, they will secure the land and the phone.
Okay, Dr. Sensie, look like I said today, people are ready. They want to talk to you, don't they? Hatim Bar say, how is the issue in Tuke, where the government is retaking lands which people have bought with authentic documents from government? Thank you, Mr. Minister. I'm in Bo, and I want to legally secure 2 plots of land. What's the rightful procedure or process? Then I show Kaba. Yes, so now for response to that, but before Minister they respond, I want to encourage you now for share, for participate in the debate with decorum. Yeah, possibly not the course here. If you know about elevator, you get for excuse and go now other forum, they the course. Yeah, the ideas will they talk. Criticize us for as much as you can, as long as it's constructive. Within here for land and for clarify issues, then we need clarification. So now I'll continue for share as Dr. Turad Sensie they crack on some of the issues there. So congratulations on passing the MCC on land rights.
Thank you so much.
But Mr. Congratulations to the ministry.
Access
it's 98%. This has never happened anywhere in Africa.
Yes.
Somebody has to show me. Anybody who argue, show me. What side don't happen?
Well, you know it don't happen. Back home, I mean, they say the prophet is never respected. But these are guys that are out there. They use the tools to assess us, and they give them results there also. So the good thing is, I mean, we're conscience clear that we are doing it in the interest of Sierra Leoneans, and then we are also responding to the global needs. So we are doing that. So let's go to Tuke again quickly.
No, let's see this one.
Okay.
Somebody, one Mustafa Suare, Mr. Mohammed, good. This brain box, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've got umbrella. Okay. That is noted. Thank you very much.
Right. So let's go to Tuke. You see, one of the things that we people need to know is that in the Western area.
Okay, no, so just before you go, Stephen Samuel say, it's all plenty, thank you. But discussion nonsense are likely around Freetown as if Freetown is Sierra Leone. What will they do for improve the situation at place in the provinces there? I don't say this is a very viable question. It's very important.
It is.
So when you don't answer, then one day, I'll talk about, land administration at the provinces.
Right. So let's start with the one first, with the first person asked. He said, Tuke. One of the things that will happen over the years is that people then just refuse to accept, say, Western area is a crown colony.
What's in crown colony mean?
Right. Meaning all land in the crown colony belong to the states. Now, the state now they convey to you before you begin lay claim to that. If the state not convey the land to you, you don't lay claim to that at all. So if anybody grab a go, it take 50 acres, 100 acres, then it go past behind do month, back do. It go to the ministry, then go make some forge documents for her. Then you go hold her, you begin take that land, they sell her. Anytime where the state want that land, they take her back. Because that person will take her, we don't sell them to you, you don't get legitimacy to that for that land. Right?
Yeah.
Let's give you one example. So they can take, so tell you get land, you get your LS number. When are the right one? Somebody inside the ministry will go take that your LS number, they go put her on another document for somebody.
A superimposer.
A superimposer.
Okay.
Then that person they take that document, they work out up and down, they say you don't get document, you get land. So now some of that things they happen. Now I'll give one example. Somebody they claim land, now Waterloo, they say they ain't get the land. When the land documents they can cross-check inside the system, the LS number for that land document on Waterloo, now continue fall. Yes, because they superimpose the LS number on that person in document. Okay. This land where they claim now Waterloo is there.
This story the way you tell me one.
You understand? So now the man down there they tell you so much. So when this thing happen, then the other man can I talk say well you know what when I give me this one as well, Tina state house and Tina continue fall. Well, when I tell president be only come on now because that all that area they now me get that land. So that other one would that man one claim. Then go take when I give me this other one.
So me land don't appreciate.
He don't appreciate.
Me come up on Waterloo in the middle. So I share this story with president and they say, hey, hold it. They say what? I said look, the last minister go share.
Interesting things. So that is it that is happening also with the Toke land. The Toke within the top board. Nobody in private land.
This government respects land rights
land
of
rights.
citizens.
Everybody
land rights.
In fact, they pass this MCC score because then they do legitimate and in-depth investigation of which they do. So if you go grab government land, you go make sure you forge your document, you go take and then you want to sit down panel. You think so will left and you. Who not there and you? Other Sierra and they need the land. You don't go take 40, 50 acres, you go sit down panel. Other Sierra who want 1 town lot, you don't get. Then you don't go forge document. Then you go sit down panel, you say will left and you know. We take our give other Sierra Leoneans we also then get reason for letting get right to land. So now that's what they do. We'll not take nobody in land.
Okay. Ahmed for the camera, thank you very much for the commendation. Abdul Kudus Kuruma, thank you very much. Say God go pay you for the hard work. Yusuf Mustafa Suare, so they do very well. We appreciate that. Dominic Jim Amara, thank you, Dr. Sensie, for the marvelous job at the Ministry of Lands. You are a true foot soldier of the new direction. God bless you. Thank you very much. Right. So, I want for advice, as always, for Lord continue for share, allow illuminate the discussion, Lord make let the forum warm. Because if more people they are to see Dr. Sensie on a conference today, for all the right reasons, he is a public servant and respect the values of public service. So land business, I know saying all man business. You know, everybody, if you know able bill say you want forget, you know, small land like you left give picking or your family. Yeah. So a very emotive issue that they concern everybody. So I want to tell Dr. Sensie, I should say Deepa Bokuti net they left Afokaya. Mrs. Egbe for Deepa the president here, entourage. Yeah. I just at the camp early for make sure say this program not for the ground because we don't make that in there. So Dr. Sensie, people then concerned about the playing field there. Yeah, and then concerned about provincial land administration. Take you through this back.
Yeah, what's going to happen is that you see, because of lawlessness in this country for all these years, what people don't do is that all inside and the reservation, the playing field and within the provinces, all the people that don't do now for go encroach on their land and they don't build it, they don't take control of them place and they here and there. But one of the things where I want to make that the whole the people of Sierra Leone let them know is that they play field and they now government land then reservation and then now government land nobody not get any right for go take a sell and give anybody. If you sell and give other person, the government will make sure say at the end of the day go take their land and they again and put it into the use when necessary. Now, the Bow play field and the Kenima playing field, which we don't do now for make sure say we stop every activity where they under force until government take a decision on their land and day. So now that's what we don't do. The same thing with reservation. Until we take a decision as a government, The only thing we will do now, like we want for make sure say we put government facility in them place and they now will use them for. But for now, we don't make sure say all the officers that are in the regions, we don't tell them say therefore make sure say they put a stop. Nothing is happening there. Kenima gets a kind of situation where it don't look a bit difficult. This BNT why don't go there. I see even the electricity poles all long past that land. So it's a bit difficult now, but we consider what we will do. Maybe we'll go for mobile facilities and commodity again, or maybe we'll put the airfield itself into another use where government will benefit from that, and the people of Sierra Leone also will benefit from that. The same thing with also, of course, Bowie airfield in West. Every now and then, everybody is they have just done a lot of things, and this BNT why don't put a stop there. But government, they think with respect to what do we do with the airfield and the reservation land there. So anybody go there, and they always tell people and say anything we got for do with government, be careful. The one we got for do with over the years, grammar school, we'll see how it end. When government ready, this now school property, government take that action, they affect too many people and they. We don't want to foresee a situation where we will take a decision as a government to affect people. But for now, it is so false. We'll go for do a lot of assessment for no waiting what we will do with the airfield and the reservation land and they. So for now, so no more just left with the protector for now.
Yeah, so me now one person we're definitely concerned about them provincial airfield. You know, after teaching, my next job would have been civil aviation. You know, so before I left for or before they sacked me in 2009, courtesy of bad governance, we've been the try for revive domestic air transport. Because back in the days, you know, good old stories and they talk about where them they go to the mines and they go to them bonds. They're across this country.
Sure.
So the vision in the medium to long term now for introduce domestic internal flights.
Yeah.
So now the challenge, no airfield, no day.
No.
You know,
the only one where they enter is Bond
okay.
Island. And on the inter today.
I understand my broker said
so
okay.
My broker
said
they don't they call me, say people they don't they go here and there. I don't give directives to the regional director. I think they don't begin to take some action. The same thing with the reservation land and my broker, and I don't even we don't get a press release. So the one day where they go and be in that place and they go for stop, a government no more gets rights for utilizing land and until further notice, nobody no gets any directives for letting use them.
Okay. Yeah. I see Matamusa, thank you very much. You said the conversation really great. They clarify a lot of issues. We really appreciate it. Yes. So, Dr. Sensie, you don't talk about all lands in there, right? So, what's how we did now? You don't do raffle. People don't get land. You don't do legislative and legal reforms. They only take you through down a small bit.
Yeah, one of the things or they just say when people introduce the raffle, and for make sure say let everybody get access to land.
Yeah,
with little pain. That will be one.
Yeah.
The second thing is, you see, this is a government where they listen to the people of Sierra Leone. We listen to the development partners, we listen to the people of Sierra Leone. So many times where people that they go to the social media, they go on radio, they talk, say, hey, this country is split, this country is divided. Well, one of the things that, you know, this is my background, peace and development also, my background. So I say, okay, how do we use land administration to make sure that there is cohesion? So what I say, fine, the raffle will also helpful for us get to that particular. So what they do the raffle, Timni man they win, Limba man they win, Fula man they win, Mende man they win, all tribes in this country they win. So you imagine that all they go in one location, they go in one community. So there is no way, we will see ourselves as Sierra Leoneans. So one of the things that the raffle bring out also is cohesion, peace, harmony among Sierra Leoneans. That is what is happening. Go now, Allentown, we put a lot of them there. You go, all Sierra Leoneans and they of various mix. You go also to Buretown. You get all sort of people. I mean, Limba, Mende, Timini, Creole. So even when you come to elections, there is no way if you don't be those. You go talk to go Bonda Mande. So tell your neighbor or you party your host back the So you see, so we will use land administration for make sure that there is access and at the same time there is peace and cohesion among Sierra Leoneans.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Abraham Akemta, you say, I'll answer the questions on Sarah Network Salon. Okay, I'll go ask my technical team now, let them get on for we. Once we get on, we will attempt for answer there. Because we want this program be a single window for clarify all other issues in government. Right. I think so that one is very important. Dr. Sensie, we don't come a very long way. You don't explain a lot of fundamental progress we don't make. this idea they say woman there access to land for woman there. I want to talk about that. Recently, you've been passed one law in a parliament, right? So I want to take we through that one day. Waiting make salon people for glad, waiting for nobody all day. Because we be known to talk about marginalization of women and other groups there, people living with disabilities, and all lens in the while they take you through this, but how that law they get for help solve some of their problems.
Well, it is part of a manifesto commitment. It is a manifesto that we will make sure say, irrespective of your social status, gender, and whatever, you forget access to land. So the customary land rights bill, one of the things that we can't do away with. Now the fact that people they think say if you be Creole, you get land at the provinces. That don't be the thing of the past. President don't sign them, it don't become law now as you do that. Be you Creole, be you Limba, be you Timini, be you whatever tribe, wherever you go now, now you go able to access land, you'll get right for that you own land. So that is one. Two, this country here, over the years, what we don't do, the woman there will be don't push them, they don't go sit down in the kitchen no more than they. If you go in the house and they contribute so much, when it comes to inheritance, when it comes to ownership, many times, especially
for inheritance.
For like so you man don't die, then the property so don't left house, you don't left land, for let you get them. You go see say the other people that go carry butu behind that woman there, they say no, you're not a woman. If you're not married one of your family inside the same family, then you don't get right. They can take that thing and leave it in their hands. So they were marginalized and they bullied and this that. What this government don't do now for make sure so then people and they then get rights for own land, they get rights for own property, they get rights for if a man died, that property where they don't left, if they don't plant banga, coconuts or whatever, another land the way mommy the whole, nobody no get right for taking it out of their place anymore. Then say get right to that. So the new customary land right bill don't come. It don't come for empower the woman them. It don't come for empower the man them. It don't come for make sure say the same right where the man gets for let own land, the same right where the woman forget for own land. I mean, if it exists now, not to now pass you get man before you own land. So that law did it about. Secondly, that law did also they support investment across board. This question of people in the can and they scared for let them go invest on land and the provinces here and there. This particular law also don't make sure say don't soften that. It don't make sure they don't define the pathway. It don't define the rules of our revered paramount chiefs. It don't define the rule of the farm landholding families. It don't define the rule of government. So all this one clearly defined in that document. Rather than today, this one they talk, this is not my own rule, this is not my own rule, this is not my own responsibility, So the investment climate not being all that conducive.
Yeah, I see. So the land tenure system, when I don't sanitize them.
Don't sanitize them.
With clear rules and responsibilities.
Right across.
For chiefs, for government, for land owning families, for the community, for everybody.
Exactly.
So if you're an investor, you can't put your money in there now. You clearly understand how you enter that community, whether for engage and clear dispute resolution mechanisms.
Everything they know.
Yes, this is interesting. It's getting
everything
interesting.
There. So nobody not get you didn't guess anymore. You're not guessing anymore.
Yeah.
You know exactly what to do as you lay hand by that document.
There. Yes. I understand part of the legislative reforms the way they do that the ministry again get for do the establishment of the Lands Commission.
Sure.
Yeah. Tell we small thing about that, about how this go able further strengthen transparency and accountability and improve land governance by the country.
Good. You said the Land Commission, it can for handle two major things in a salon.
Yes, sir.
One such thing, now the thing will be don't happen all these years when people need to take control. Many times you see somebody they get conveyance, they work out up and down. They say I get title. From independence to date, will not be ever get a system where we register deed of title in this country also. So now the Land Commission will establish now purely for can make sure say then title, then deed of title, then register now, so it now become your property. There is one thing where people also not understand. The conveyance, not they give title to the land. These people have understand the conveyance. The conveyance is an evidence of transaction.
Okay.
That's people they don't know. And it has been difficult for people for let them even explain this to the people of Sierra Leone.
That
the conveyance is an evidence of transaction. We not give you the title to that property. Okay. Now when you get deed of title that is registered, And from 1961 to date, to not be if you don't get a law yet.
Administrator General Office.
Where they really tell you, say, for register your deed of title.
Oh.
Now we don't pass on using the
land
customary
commission.
land act. Now that now don't give now the legitimacy to any body for register now your own documents we would refer to as a deed of title.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, eh?
Yeah.
So that's now one of the things that way they can do. They can register now all title for land we don't purchase or we don't get from government on one. Mm-hmm. Two, now for help also for resolve conflicts over land. Mm-hmm. So there are two major roles and the way the where the land commission they can address. Mm-hmm. Two major roles. Mm-hmm. One for register the title, secondly for resolve conflict over land. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure say then problems are where they go now the court every now and then where the court don't so full up with land cases. One make sure say we reduce that using the land commission. So those two things and then the land commission they can address. And we think say when once we're able to address that one then definitely we don't succeed for sanitize the entire land system, land business as alone.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Sensie. Family, I want for encouraging her for continue for share. I want for Sarah Network. They do a fantastic job. I see most of them questions there are also on the live feed. Now they would only respond to. I want for telling a plenty thank you on behalf of my team Nayaso and the ministry indeed. This is what Sarah Lee is all about. We will collaborate, we'll cooperate with each other so that we're able to reach more and more people there. Because some of them issues there where Dr. Sensie they respond to today, now matters of the heart for many people there. People that they grow up all their life, they not get land. So now we talk about how they streamline the processes in the ministry for make sure say anybody who deserve land will able get them. So thank you very much, and I want for continuing for Law Stay Engaged. Dr. Sensie, you don't need the ministry over 2.5 years now. So what do we go expect for see in coming years?
Yeah, you see, things that they will only achieve, and we make sure say we move on gradually. Now, the next phase of the programs then, now affordable housing.
I just want for kind
that now the side where they go now, right now. Now we don't just get.
What does affordable housing mean?
Well, you see,
that grammar is too big. Even though they charge more big grammar.
That's
but you look like say you want to beat me today.
No, I know will beat you. I think say final affordable housing really they go for those within the middle income brackets.
Okay, social housing.
The social housing, and then one day with the low income, bracket. Mm-hmm. So normally what they do is that they take them one at a time. Mm-hmm. Get the one then where we go for afford for get them one day we then go for bill and then cities quickly. So they target them group and they first because now that then the investors then where they come and then they want target. Then we get other people also where they come in with the social housing for the one they and then low income, then maybe they market. If I like take this opportunity for also tell Sierra Leoneans that in a couple of months, maybe from now, we also go for target the market woman then and target also Okada riders. They also deserve to be recognized. They deserve for also own land, for access land. You imagine the total number of Okada riders who get us alone, the kind of service when they render to Sierra Leoneans. Then one they will need for also recognize them. You look at Mami in the market, we will sell how many years for able to get 1 million, 2 million. It become a problem. So therefore also begin to encourage them and they also make them get access to land in a very easy manner with less pain. So that's therefore happen. So for the affordable housing, we don't just get 2 days now, we don't conclude. Very shortly, I go for Brian can before now, for long I can see how we go look up and endorse them. They will make them, then developers and then cancel alone and then begin the construction. Hopefully, in the new year, we will begin hit the ground running very hard. And also, the two-way maker, they look, they pipe down small, and they look for Sierra Leoneans also for venture into the business. Not only foreigners, they no more for kind invest inside. So, why Sierra Leoneans, why 2-3 people they not come inside? They say what they call. I don't get Sierra Leoneans also. So very soon we'll get for make sure so we begin spread affordable housing. But there is also one good thing where we need to know about this housing business where they come. We try to encourage the investors then for let them make sure say when once they get their houses and they're on the ground, therefore think about the Sierra Leoneans then with respect to waiting the cancer in their pockets and bring in some flexibility in terms of how they're going to acquire their land. within discussion with them, and we want to make sure that they do it in a manner where the people of Sierra Leone they don't feel much pain when they pay for their houses and they. And then they be just slow it down small for make sure say we're able to convince them, say, look, then people here, they're not able to get much. Then civil servants they're able to get much money. Then teachers are not able to get much money. So one we negotiate with the follow see how they're going to put the price down so that when they build a house and then people and they also get the means for letting get access to the internet. So the affordable housing, we just make sure so we tidy up things there, but incessantly now on the pipeline and they come.
So people the service department, Dr. Senesi, they're quite concerned about that. Yeah. Then they allow say a lot of corruption there, then they overcharge people then and this, that. I don't know if you're aware of this.
The need for Brianka.
So what did they do about that?
There is another thing we also need to know. Most people, I mean, whether they don't do, whether they say they're auxiliary staff or volunteers, these are not trained surveyors. Now they're not in the ministry. But because they've been there, they are out there, then they present themselves to be surveyors. And because they present themselves to be surveyors, most people they tend to do business with them. So then they ask some price them way in order to knowledge. But some of them people, and if we will lay hands on them, we will hand them over to the police. But all other charges they wait for paying at the ministry. And they come to my office, and they come at the PSC office, and they come to the director office, and direct into the bank account, and then they pay. So we not they lay hands per money anymore. From when I take over the ministry, the money is inside the account and for go pay. So if anybody asks you, say, let go pay money to run, you for bring that person in, you for bring account to be noticed. They are going to make sure say they take disciplinary action against that person. But all monies are supposed to be paid into the consolidated fund. The account number is there, and that is where they are supposed to pay.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Joshua Kui, they tell we plenty thank you. I think so this is a great idea. Would bring good governance to the homes of Sierra Leoneans. I see Mr. Songa said, asked, what's in the service plot there, Henry Songa? They live abroad apparently.
Right.
Asked, what's in the service plot there? How does one go about acquiring one if interested?
Good. The service plots, what we don't do is that we clean the plots and the land in the first place. We make sure say that land we do the roads and inroads and at the service plot. They will make sure say the trunk road also reach to the service plots and that is what we are doing. So then land and then now John Obi. Then they don't people don't begin already acquire. People don't begin they do their own buildings and then now we don't make sure say the roads are all done. We make sure say the road when from the main highway we go make you access that land a day. We make sure say also the Ministry of Water Resources therefore bring water candy. We make sure say the Ministry of Energy they bring light candy. So all of these get for in that place there, and we make sure say there is security for the land and in that place there. So we have already serviced that plot. You see trunk road, whether the major trunk road, the in roads there, we don't already do them also then we make sure say the electricity, the candy, water is going to be there. So we make sure say there is a shopping center, there is also school, there is a health center. We don't make provision for all of that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I think so. One day they go for chemical. Let me say go see.
Of course,
we don't bring one program from this.
That is it. In fact, we are going to like the one we get for do with their schools. What you want for do their land and they will advertise them.
Okay.
For people that we want for build schools, then they bring forward a proposal. So your responsibility is supposed to go building house. You get for boy in Pekin and the Pekin for go school. You can't put a modern school there. We go for advertise. Like for then other land and day for somebody for bring a health center day or ask government say look this land here so let government can put health center here. Some other land they will talk say David Senge, the minister for basic and senior secondary school can put school also. So one for make sure say then social services are also available and then plot and day. So all what you need for do you where they ask now for go to the website of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. You go download the application form. It is there. You attach your picture there. You send a kind of the ministry go give you approval, then you go pay into the consolidated fund. Now that's not what you need for do. All documentation, including your conveyance, who they do are all will hand over give you. So that is all they need to do. Yeah,
so there has been a really great quiet revolution going on at the Ministry of Lands. Thank you so very much. So somebody last me say it look like say the pie and second term we go down get on the first ballot, inshallah, inshallah. Go bring a lot of improvements in the land ownership system. Dr. Turad Sensie is determined and say get zero doubt in your leadership. You got people that will believe in you, bruh. Go, move on. So Cosmo, Nylander, they say how they go get titles and now because now conveyance no more than get
That's why we don't establish the
land commission.
land commission.
Yeah.
And the land commission already established so money day for set the system. Money day for set the system. Recently, the World Bank don't give we. And the other thing is where we also want to bring to the public, as a government, we're responsible, we know of the challenge, the economic challenges. The $41.1 million we then give to the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning now as a result of the good performance of His Excellency the President in terms of delivering on a manifesto commitment. And as a result, that money not to debt to Sierra Leone, that grants. That's not a debt to Sierra Leone. Now grant, that $41.1 million. So a day for set a system for title registration, a day for set up all the offices, a day for bringing more jobs, we go for survey all lands across the country. The one when Mr. Rado Sware get if they inside Pujan, also don't survey and we make sure we make sure say we register Mr. Rado Sware get a document, we make sure say it is digitized, you go there inside your phone, you go there America, Mr. Rado Sware tell you say I get land and so sign a Fwendu. I want for seller landing. You no need for car ask Mr. Rado Sware. Let's just give you the details. You plug inside your telephone. You go know if I get the land or not to get the land.
And now go for donor content.
So you don't go for donor content or you go for donor
state house.
State house, so those things. So now that's the So when once that thing is, we don't set up that system, the conflict over land issues get for reduced drastically, and then of course people then go get the turnaround time when somebody they talk about. It will be effective and efficient, and we'll be able to deliver the services to the people in record time.
Dr. Sensie, you don't talk about the affordable housing. We're normally now for middle income earners. People then really concerned for like talk about low cost housing because majority of people then another category then they will get a small and unstable middle class now. So you know that because little shocks then can bring even the middle class as there down to low income earners. So I want to let you talk to family because this is housing are the biggest thing. Then they left college in the early to mid 90s. So man, they go work before you went to look for one room. You know, that's to tell you the extent of the housing crisis. I'm told it will not worsen over the years. You know, so waiting would they do for make sure they will ease this issue around low cost housing.
You see, one of the things I want to do now for employ or deploy a lot of strategies in terms of addressing the housing business and at the same time the land business. Now, in as much as we are looking for developers for them to come into the housing market, we also conscious of the fact say some other people and they also would then at the low income class would they also want for be Leone houses of the choice them. So waiting make now that waiting make we go into their rough way so now for make sure so we get some of them land there so we get make it available to their people and they with no cost, almost no cost. And I want strategy down there. The second one also is that we also don't approach also other investors then. Very recently, myself and the Minister of Development, we don't get a lot of engagement with Home Leone. Home Leone don't they do some very good job. Where you get hosts, we will cost you 150 million leones. Some hosts say we will cost you 100 million leones. Then two rooms we then call Home Leone and they do using local materials. We don't go visit it.
Okay.
Very nice. You get 2 rooms, you get a parlor, nice place there. They don't get. So we're in discussion with them.
On friendly payment terms.
On friendly payment terms. We're in discussion with them. Another one and they will then say they come also. They don't give me proposal. So we're in discussion. So it's not only about the affordable housing, but also the local housing. We also they think about and see how we're able for use that for satisfy them one day when they get better money.
Yeah, so you don't raise 2 very important things there. You don't make me evening. One, you don't mention, say, you want Sierra Leoneans in the space. The housing market.
Sure.
Yeah, investment sphere. And this one is very well with the new direction manifesto. We want for empower Sierra Leoneans for going to competitive businesses. Because what will happen, whatever returns they get in the United States, there will be no capital flight.
Sure.
Right? I'm also glad we talk about building homes using appropriate local technology and local materials.
Yeah.
I think that is the way to go. Whether one day happen, we don't get this global shock, for example, you find out all things don't go up, cement price go up, that price go up. But if they use local materials, last Silveram, for example, the primary school where I go, I've been there before they born me. you go to my village. You don't go see them. Up to this day, in the same structure today. Nothing other one.
Yes.
So in a high integrity structure then
right.
So I'm glad it's A, you want Sierra Leoneans at the space. B, you want appropriate local technology and local materials.
Yeah.
I think say we are in the right direction. So somebody they asked, say you've been talking about 10,000 housing investments about a couple of months ago. What's how they would done now?
Now I don't tell you so.
George Zombo mentioned.
A day on course, and as I say, we've been only doing the negotiations. Now they would already get an agreement. That agreement now they go table in a cabinet, and then when once cabinet approval, they sign on behalf of government with the investor, they are go table in a parliament for ratification. No sooner that is done, then of course it become law. Then the investors in the beginning hit the ground. You know, for go into that thing and they not like them talk of a business or where they go play or bingo. You know, you go just grab number, you sit down, you whip, you waste, you grab back, you go. I mean, you don't do it that way. It entails a lot of things. The investor, they come, they want one. The investment where they bring, it has to be secured. And at the same time, we also, as a government, we go for make sure, say, we do the right thing. So that whosoever buy that house there at the end of the day, if will be the legitimate owner of that land, not just somebody who can buy that land at the end of the day, then the investor take it, go sell and get other person in the back. We go for also make sure, say, the price we get for tag for the sale of those homes, it go for be the one where they meet the pockets of Sierra Leoneans. We know take with people that will just left there at the mercy of the investor. So it take a lot of time for discuss all of them times and day because the people then and then are concerned. The investor now will concern for protecting investments, but at the same time we want also a lot of people that also get access and then they enjoy whatever they put into their housing in there. So we don't do a lot of the negotiations in there. So now we can't take and now go to cabinet. Then from there we go to parliament.
You know cabinet now.
Now the current cabinet we get is so academic, is so elitist that before you go there, you get to prepare yourself. I know I go there with a document. Then Honorable Rados Wari go throw spanners into the whole thing. Professor Francis go throw spanners into that one. You get David Senge there under. You get, those things. So you get to prepare yourself well.
So what to make we do that one day? Cabinet will be held liable and collectively responsible
someday
for
if we do it wrongly.
Doing it wrongly.
Sure.
Because we act in trust for and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone.
Yeah, sure.
So we understand we all face the moment.
Of course.
But that's the spirit. I like it.
Course.
Because when we take decisions from
they put you on your toes and make sure say you do the right thing. So it is good.
Yes. Okay, so James Massacoy say many areas in Africa lack space for basic services like schools, health facilities, recreational facilities, etc. In Hamilton, for example, we don't have space for market buildings. Buildings have come up on right of ways. Also, more importantly, please encourage landowners to plant trees, make the city green. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much.
Concern and the proposal.
Right. Thank you so much.
So we get some minutes more. We're still open to answer more questions there, for address more concerns there. I read the other, Mr. Nylander, they say next law bring the trade minister. The owner, they ask for the trade minister, now for give me definite guarantees, say, wake up and I not go more bam. Because every day I can't have the trade minister. I actually talked to Ram. This year. But we'll go see. Yeah, but he's very willing. He's looking forward to facing.
I know him.
I don't know any minister who they shy away from facing you.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Mr. Minister, as a country, the challenges are there. But they in governance for bring solution to their problems a day. So we're not going to shy away from that. And besides, we are also ready and willing to listen to the people of Sierra Leone. As long as they help, we follow, make sure we solve the problems of Sierra Leone. We are more than ready. We are not ready to have a kind of, we're going to blows people. Now, we didn't ask for serving them. So we are supposed to listen to them. And I think so all my colleagues, each and every minister are ready for listening to the people of Sierra Leone. Whatever you tell, we want good things, we will make Salone better. And whatever you bring forward, we have suggestions, we will make lives better. Because we say get life. We're not going for the inside government or their office there everlasting. We're going to come out. So whatever we do, if thing we're good for the interest of Sierra Leone, in the interest of Sierra Leone, it can affect we also who the common office. So we go for doing rightly. So what we suggest to take in good faith, and make sure say we work in our interest. We no condemn whatever when I talk at all. In fact, for me, I like when somebody they tell me say, what you don't do so this one. I mean, you don't find this way as well. Why you not look at this other way as well? I want to look at those
kind of
alternatives.
conversation they find forget.
Then alternatives and then I want for look at and see what I go do further. We go better than
Okay.
Leone.
Alusan share they ask what it take for acquire a plot of land at Keriton. What I go want advise Dr. Sensie? You probably get for do a Q&A, put on somewhere how for acquire land, you know whether it's service plot, ordinary citizen, then kind of stuff then they.
I will.
Because a lot of the issues here the of citizens they want for no. Particularly when you don't they considerably sanitize, the land management system.
I will.
Then just don't remind me, so we'll get 15 minutes more. 15 minutes is a long time to be able to achieve a lot of things. So let's keep the questions coming. Let's keep the comments flowing. Let's keep the experience sharing up and running. And while we do that, I want to tell you now plenty thank you for una fine time for keeping this appointment with we. We send out of respect for una make. We left early for can make sure say this program not fail. We not miss out. So Lord continue for share. Lord continue for share the live feed, the what have you, so that more and more people then will join the debate. Dr. Turad Sensie. We get a situation now where you don't get, as I see, part of streamlining the process, you don't get banks outside, you don't get cages outside, so people then go able to transfer. What's it inspire you for do that one day? That number of people that will be in that place, I see you don't considerably reduce.
Yes,
what's the magic?
We'll get.
How did it happen?
We'll get FAO there.
What not FAO?
The Food and Agricultural Organization.
Okay.
An agency of UN.
Okay.
They've been on the Canada ministry years. That lady, they work with FAO, then a consultant, and so any year where they come, and from Italy they can come out.
Okay.
They can always Canada.
Yeah, now they FAO headquarters.
So this means they come again on a mission. So they can get engagement with the staff of the ministry. So with man, they know the shape of person. So they don't come na office to meet and sit down. As they don't introduce themselves, we don't begin the discussion. And they say, I say, this ministry, now move and don't move and go as I was waiting. so now
I don't see the crowd.
He said, one day, he said, for the past 6 years when they come, he said, anytime they come, that place is always jam-packed like a market. So what is happening? As I said, well, we are just doing some reform. So wait, like the cage we don't talk about. The cage, before now, people when they come, they document. Or they come for, in the first place, all offices, for every activity in the ministry, they receive, and then they receive money there. So one of the things that I do is that for cut off them, go pay in a bank. Not pay any money inside. So go and pay in a bank, you bring the pay slip. Number one. Two, first step, they can so the whole document, they work at office to office, office to office, office to office. I said, no, you stop that. The front desk, you submit your document there. The date, the time where you submit that document, and they take out there, you sign. The person where they receive them, instantly they sign. So the number of hours wait for taking that KHD, it is already inside the SOP. It is inside it. So this document for take maximum 12 hours. In fact, like the front, what they call, now 6 to 8 hours. Thereafter, enough for the day again. If we don't move to the next side.
Okay, so there's a service charter.
There is. That service charter will define all of them in a day.
So probably we need for publicize and let's allow people that know that.
I think so. We don't put on our website, but we'll try for
it's got to go beyond that.
We'll do that one.
Yes, we'll do that one. I think it's very important.
Yes.
Say, it's innovative. Say,
right.
You don't put a service charter in place. People that need for know that. I know the average salon person, if you know, then they hold them fingers to the fire.
Right.
So let's publicize as much as we can. Let know say from the time they can't pay you money now up to the time you forget you document and then number of days,
everything.
Yes.
So
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So now you're able for trace your documents wherever the documents are. If you can't, then begin to talk say this document we not see any now. I just go to the front desk. When this document carry, they show me where you move from here, where say go. That office will go and sign for them. So you able know where come back the other side where they go and sign for them. The date go there, the time go there.
Yeah, so somebody bushman they ask say one pastor go evict people them from their land. The care talks then go and police for force them people then they for come on their land. The pastor said I ain't get their land and they. I think so you go know about that. What you got to do about that? There are pastors in this business are not so allergic and said they
allergic and they pastor and they instead of ending at church, then dust them more up and down. They hold a pool with their water and then they go and take government land here and there. They make sure they convert and they sell here and there. We'll get some allergy them back and thing. But I think they don't minimize because, then they do anything and they in collaboration with some of the staff, the way they been in at the ministry, where most of them are also pin coded staff. They're not did it again. So most of them they can't anymore. I know they see them. And I've been not there, but some of them name them they were no call now. But the good thing is, most of them people they never approach me. And before they come at the office, they talk, they say, let no more, we'll handle and just now. But if they never handle me, Mr. said they look for that opportunity, but let them handle me. Let's see how they run the handle other people. They will know how to take the whole battle forward. But that is not the case anymore. So they are not there anymore. Land grabbing is reducing, drastically, and we will continue to do that one because more people in Sierra Leone need the land, and they get right for get that land, and we will give them. We no allow any single individual for take all the land in one grade. They begin make profit out of it. Misfortune, they sell and how much, then they sell and they will want 1,000 together. We don't agree anymore.
Okay, thank you. Lansana Musa Galiwa say, it is really plenty, thank you. If you want to forget documents for inland Nabo for the first time, how you go about it?
The lands
Lami
ministry.
Massive Bangura, they say the timeline for Keritan relocation. Those people, their lands was taken for diagnostic hospital.
Would already, the land did it. There is the director of surveys. Nine no more for lies with the land is there. We don't already tell them, see, let them lies with the people and they for let them get them the documents there. The documents are there, the land is there, so let them come to the ministry. If they don't get it, no. They will find out why they don't get it.
You get very interesting thing. I'm gonna read this. Because I know say you know anything that you like for response. Oh, but this is how is it? Why this person? Okay, I want for advice. John Sango Conte, you seem forget some real something where they monitor you. You don't write quite a treatise on a long one. We're not able to read down, but I want for advise you. Can't see the minister next week. If you can't to minister, I go facilitate. We'll get back to you. I will make one of my staff then get to you now. You go PV you, then let you come explain to the minister. Then we'll see how then we will help you. Yeah, I think say nobody not deserve for be treated so recklessly. So if we know say you have been badly done by, we will see how this man a fair person. A believe in giving justice where it's due. It will handle that matter. So I go ask.
And the good thing is, every Thursday they get a clinic at the ministry where they talk to members of the public. So if somebody don't hurt you, come Thursday, you come to me. I listen to everybody. Every Thursday, I sit there, I listen to members of the public, and I make sure I respond to all their demands, all their queries, all their questions. So if somebody don't hurt you, come to the ministry on Thursday, and then I will listen to you. Then that person day, I will reprimand them.
James Masako say your predecessor been talk a lot about Gloucester South of building government offices there. Is that plan still alive and well?
No, there is some other thing we already government consider, but that one I cannot say that one because now His Excellency the President ain't for me that pronouncement. With that 10-day reach, the whole Sierra Leone will know say yes. With the talk of Sierra Leone in a grand style and Sierra Leone with a different focus. But I know talk that one it. Wusai and Wusai government institutions they get for day, Wusai and Wusai industries they get for day, Wusai and Wusai other facilities, diplomatic zone go day. That one day now His Excellency the President, he therefore do that pronouncement, but not to now, not to me for talking.
Okay, so go on your the sailor pin the website now so for the Ministry of Lands so that then we're not in there, we're interested in go do Julie go do down there as the program they go on, yeah?
Right.
Yes, we go do down there, my dear. Yes, I think so down there very important. Then go pin and fauna so that una say we will navigate and for ourselves. Because most of the information you have for access land, do's and don'ts, service charter, all anything in there go did it. And go help una for navigate
no
the process
sooner we
of
done
land
with this
acquisition.
program, we'll make sure so we put her up on the website there. Yeah.
So yes, Dr. Sensie, they don't just tell we say what time they can down now. I want for tell we partners them plenty thank you. This is a really engaging conversation today. When I don't left with a very precious engagements there for can sit out, for can hang out with Winaya for discuss Sierra Leone. Una send a measure and testimony to the fact say una very vested in waiting they happen at the motherland.
Sure.
So, somebody they call from England. I don't, this conversation come up from all over the world, all over the country, all over the world. That means then they follow we,
Right.
and this is not some platform list or for maintain. Okay, so Joshua Kui say you very well informed. You provide answer that even before they ask you. They say don't surrender.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kui.
So Bylock Bakari Colin, they say thank you to you and the rest of the team who were there. So somebody say if space day now number 2 to Ke Highway. Well, on the
there is space. We have more land. We have a land day. So now for just contact the public relations office of the ministry. They're going to take you through what they're waiting for do. A number then at the website, it go make give you all the necessary information for them able for access and own your own service plot. We get the one that we did for the commercial purpose in SSFD. And the good thing is the money now inside government go far they go now they use for also do some other development for the people of Sierra Leone. Nobody that money they go in pocket now direct inside the government treasury. That is the money they go.
Barry, Bylaw, Barry, Colin, they tell you Prince Tsenki for bringing sanity and sobriety to the ministry.
Thank you, Mr. Colin, for them good word the way they give me for encourage me. I will continue for do more. I will continue for make the people of Sierra Leone proud.
Okay, so we come to the end of this program, and so we get a couple of old questions and we have been on promise for response on the proportional representation district block. You want to pull it up for me? Let respond to a few of them because I think say this one very close to people they have. I know they talk about the MCC, the latest one we don't come out today. We come out today. I go find time for talk about that another day.
Yeah, but I think you need to forget the people of Sierra Leone. Basic information that the country they make progress.
Okay, so you lead.
This is a very difficult or challenging moment in the history of the world, and Sierra Leone, will take Sierra Leone out of that. And for all day in this difficult situation, then the global community, a renowned global agency, do an assessment of a country and say yes, we don't pass. It means Sierra Leoneans then they do well. Even when they are challenged, they go make sure say they not lost hope. So waiting this result they say. This is what they tell we say, or they tell the entire world say Sierra Leoneans are serious, and we have to be proud of that. We're serious, though we not get much resources, we pull, we not country we pull, but we do everything possible, everything we for do for make the lives of our people better. I think so that's what they do. So this result here, not only President Bio will be proud of this. He not provide the leadership. But all of us Sierra Leoneans, the fact that we all contributed to this, we cooperate. And we don't support governments. But let governments provide them basic things that I think so we all get to be proud as a nation. I think so that's very important, Mr. Minister.
Okay, so let's just mention this. Number one, because the time they done, this is not something for dedicate a whole program to. Number one for Rob Mortimer.
Yes.
How then the camp are then rating, yeah. This not so you anti the marker for you, not to salon people then they do the assessment. This is not third party assessors there. For example, if an education business, UNICEF go did it, the UNESCO go did it, that data then they gather up.
Yeah.
And the analyzer. So this is not third party, credible, highly respected global third party assessors there. Now do this assessment now in the rate salon. Where you can't pay like freedoms and so you go to Freedom House. If you can't pay them, then right to access, you go to the Committee to Protect Journalists, globally reputed institutions, and then third-party assessors, now the MCC, the contract for do this kind of assessment. So Salon government don't get no influence over them. I mean, this one very important for mention. Now then do this here, so we just give them the data, then verify, then triangulate, and then validate, and then they bring we up here so. But, a very important for note say, we don't make tremendous progress in many areas. Some of the areas they will not do well, for example, this year, we then bring in employment, that employment index.
Yeah.
This, now September this year, nine and changer. Trade, now been doing business, startups and all that. And it will be non the passer, resoundingly over the period. This one, a new variable introduced this year.
Yeah.
Even there, government may not already take practical steps there. We don't do a lot of reforms. This year, the ILO In fact, let note this. When President Bio take over in 2018, Salon not been on the pay would use them to the ILO. The Minister of Labour go did not really let enter the meeting. Na Geneva. So we don't do up to date now. Because of that, we don't get technical expertise. We don't put the laws there in place. You get laws there when they talk about the Wages and Industrial Relations Act of 1974. No, 1971, the year when they born me. How that law then I go to still refer to talk about industrial relations in the 21st century. I mean, how they are. So we don't do a lot of reforms there. So we go make that one day available. This is a new variable, like I said, they introduce now in September, October, November, MCC scorecard don't come on. So that one day we're going to do well with her. The extractive industry itself, they don't get a new dimension to her, right? We have not passed it this time, but we don't make remarkable progress. We'll continue for doing that in there. And this is a new direction, indeed a new dawn. We're in this business for change the narrative. We're committed to do that. Yeah. Hello, let's say, next time, the non-time me say time down Kechui. Next time we'll for talk about the proportional representation. I see somebody misinformed, say, State House don't ask me, say, let me not talk about the proportional. Let us step aside and not discuss proportional representation. Well, if me not talk about her, now I'm going to talk about her. That was a big joke. Me not know side and pull that talk. So I showed the president the paper yesterday. President said, if information minister not talk about this, what are going to talk about her now? He said, you people in the right hand. I said, well, that is it. Freedom of information, freedom of speech comes with its own downsides.
Yes.
But I take that in my stride. I'm a party there.
Sometimes you enjoy it.
I enjoy them very much. They actually sent them to me a day earlier. They asked me. I said, no, I'm not dignify this guy.
As long as the criticism constructive, we will continue for improvement.
Yeah, so thank you. I mean, it's been a really great evening to now. We go there next week, Thursday again. I want to tell you now, plenty, thank you. Every after the facts, Lord share. I mean, beaucoup emerging issues then we will bring Dr. Sensie, we go respond to them still. It no means say we not get lost, say you no go cancel second time. If the issues then beaucoup, the warrants and can one now, we go bring them back. But in the meantime, the Minister of Agriculture don't promise he will come next week. We know one for send advanced questions there, we go send her. But he's also a bright guy. I can assure you, say anybody who will bring now, no go let you down. I want to tell you plenty, thank you. So on Tuesday, like I tell you now, Sierra Leone is making a lot of progress. Tuesday next week, we get the Budapest Freetown rally, the end now. Trade na be Budapest Bamako rally. But because of the instability in Mali, Sierra Leone na the next place where they will not choose. They will not begin Canada. We had the root disruptions of COVID, but they not resume again. So then they come Tuesday, about 600 of them from about 65 countries there. So that means Sierra Leone has many things to offer. They now say we're a peaceful, stable, and thriving democracy. So I appeal to all Sierra Leoneans, Lord, continue for keep on that way. When this car in the car, they give a big boost to tourism. Because then people that know the car, their mama and host not there, Allah go sleep to auntie, Allah go sleep to my party. Now hotel or guest house, then go for day. Then go for buy Sierra Leonean stuff, they go buy food, they go buy drink, they go make friends, and they bring Mosoka and they know they can go back for the most part, and they sell all now, So this is going to be a big boost to tourism. I want for use this opportunity for tell Madam Memuna Pratt, plenty thank you, in fact, in recognition of them tremendous strides here, now in company West African ministers the non-voter tourism minister of the year. I think that is something Sierra Leone should be proud of. So we are not all doom and gloom. We got a lot of good news stories when they come now. The MCCO, now one follow handle exclusively on your merit next week. Probably we can do one in between.
Yeah.
We can do one in between. Probably on the Tuesday, whenever that is. Okay. Wanna thank you. Lord, continue for share the links to now groups then, to family, to friends, to loved ones then. Let this Sierra Leonean debate go on. This is now one of the things in there for Unite We. A forum where they can talk what's in our heart and get a response. Thank you very much. Until then, bye.